Hey, Coyote fans, welcome into the Coyote Volleyball Show presented by Scooters Coffee. We're joined, as always, by the head volleyball coach at the University of South Dakota, Leanne Williamson. Her team coming off of a Summit League Volleyball Tournament championship last week. And, of course, by now they already know who they're playing in the NCAA Volleyball Tournament. Coach, let's start with last week. Obviously exciting. No one has ever won 3 matches to win the Summit League Volleyball Championship. Your team got it together, clicked at the right time, defeating 2 of the teams that they had not beaten in the regular season. What a special moment. It's always special to win that tournament, but to do it in that fashion, a little bit of revenge, to win 3 matches, incredible effort by this group.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it all year, and we always felt this was a championship-level team. And even though it didn't play out that way during the regular season, I think even going into the tournament, I know coaches, staff, our players were extremely confident in what we would be able to accomplish. I do think there's a reason why there hasn't been somebody who's won the 3 matches in 3 days. It's really hard. It's hard to do physically, mentally, emotionally, kind of all the above, and everybody's playing at their highest level at that point in time. But I'm just really proud of the team for staying the course and trusting the process as we've gone through this season. And I think a lot of ways, some of the setbacks that we had throughout the season really set us up to be at our best at the end. But I give a lot of credit to this team for being able to stick with it, to be able to buy into what needed to be changed to be at our best at the end of the season. And they sure played some high-level volleyball this weekend.
You had some opportunity to have some players on the all-tournament team. No surprise, your team wins the tournament. But Kylan Seelock named the MVP of that tournament. And why wouldn't a senior step up at the most critical time of her career and lead this team to some wins?
I mean, she was incredible. Obviously, rounds 1 and 2 hit for a really high percentage. Obviously, the 2 sweeps there, so not as high of a kill total. But then that final match, I think, was probably the most impressive. I mean, she actually started out struggling in the first set. She got blocked quite a few times. But the thing that I was really proud of her for doing is she stayed really aggressive. I mean, she kept swinging to score. She just got a little bit smarter with the shots that she was hitting. She was hitting the ball just as hard, just to better areas of the floor, and obviously ended up with I think it was 23 kills, led her team there, and a good high hitting percentage. I think hit almost 290 as an outside. So she had an incredible weekend. I feel like it was a weekend. I guess we finished on Tuesday, but she had an incredible 3 matches there, and I'm really proud of her for, again, staying the course, trusting the process, and for her to be playing her best volleyball at the end of the year is a great sight.
And no surprise to see a couple others on the all-tournament team as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, Cameron, I think, has been steady for us all season, but it's funny because I watched those matches back, and there were a couple times that I just said, I'm like, she wasn't making that play 2 months ago, and she just continued to get better and better throughout the season, and I think she really set the standard right away in our match versus Kansas City. I think she had 7 digs in the first set, and probably 5 or 6 of them early on in the first half of the set. So I think a lot of people kind of fed off of that, and she was consistently tough defensively. And then Avery just did a really good job of running our offense, got a lot of people involved, got different people involved in different days depending on the matchups that we were facing. And I think both of them obviously also deserve to be recognized there.
Yeah, could have been others as well, because your team, just like it has all season, in this tournament, different players stepped up at different times to really help build some of this momentum.
I mean, it's been incredible. We've talked about it since the beginning. I remember some of those first interviews that we did. It was a different person that we were talking about in terms of what they accomplished, how they helped the team, different people leading the team in kills or hitting percentage or whatnot. And one I would point out, Cheyenne. I mean, she had probably one of her best performances of the season against South Dakota State in that championship match. And she had a matchup that we felt like we could take advantage of for portions of the match, but even when their really good blocker was up there, I just think she was smart, used the right shots, and she was a little spark plug for us, which we definitely needed.
You go into that championship match against South Dakota State. Obviously, they've had an incredible season. And what's your message to your team going into it? Obviously, they have to win to go to the NCAA tournament and accomplish some of their goals. But this is a team that's beaten them twice. They've got strong middle blockers, But what was your message to this team going into that championship?
I mean, one of the things that I think us as a coaching staff were able to relay to them, the message was staying in the present, and I think, Michael kind of mentioned it to the team a couple different times of just in our experience at this level, in these moments, the teams that did the best were the ones that were able to stay in the moment, because you expect some back and forth. You expect high level volleyball on both sides of it. And I think you look at the difference between set 4 and set 5 for us. I think that was the perfect moment for our players to buy into that, of staying in the moment, staying in the present, because we could have easily folded after that set 4 when they played out of their minds, and we kind of lost ourselves, for a small bit. But they reset and played hard. Played gritty, found a way to keep the ball alive defensively, scored the ball at a high clip, and they were just very intent with what they were doing. So that was the biggest message. And then I think the other thing is it doesn't need to be something bigger than what it is. It's the same game that we've been playing the entire year. It's the same size court. It's the same ball, and I think our team just handled it really well, which I'm really proud of them for, because we do have some really young players on the court, and for them to handle that as well as they did says a lot about them, and again, how they're going to be able to progress not only into the next stage this year, but through their careers.
A volleyball season is a grind, like any sports season. This tournament is a grind. 3 matches in 3 days. You win the thing. How do you describe the attempt at a celebration with the exhaustion as well from what this team accomplished? I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was pure joy. Is honestly the way I would put it. And one of the things I was so excited about is usually the interviews are kind of in a different gym or a different area, a classroom, a media room, and the interviews that they were doing were right on the side of the court. So I was able to sit there while I was answering questions and just watch our team celebrate. And it was incredible is really the word that I just keep using, but it was so much fun to just see the pure joy on their faces, the smiles, the hugs, some tears probably through it, them throwing confetti and taking pictures and holding the trophy, and that feeling really never gets old. But I think at that point in time, I don't think anyone knows how exhausted they are. I think the adrenaline has definitely kicked in at that point in time. So it was a really, really special moment, and I'm just really glad that this team was able to do that together.
A 5th tournament championship, and the Coyotes got some much-needed rest. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit, along with the preview of the NCAA tournament match coming up as well. Up next, Cheyenne Hlady will join us. We'll talk more about a Summit League Volleyball Tournament Championship. This is the Coyote Volleyball Show, presented by Scooters Coffee. This segment brought to you by Scooters Coffee. Scooters Coffee. Amazing drinks, amazing people, amazingly fast. Back in the Coyote Volleyball Show, presented by Scooters Coffee. We just heard from head coach Leanne Williamson. She'll rejoin us coming up here in just a little bit. But right now, opportunity to chat with Cheyenne Hlady, who, of course, helped the Coyotes to a Summit League Tournament Championship last week and now is preparing for the NCAA Volleyball Tournament. Yes. Cheyenne, describe the week of that volleyball tournament. 3 matches, 3 days. It's really hard to win 3 consecutive days like that.
Yeah.
Your team got it done. What was that emotion like after winning that championship?
It was an incredible weekend, to say the least. Just so surreal. I don't fully know if it's really hit me yet that we really did that. But, the whole weekend, obviously our end of the season was tough. We had, we were hoping to go into the tournament as the 2 seed. That was our goal. And, that didn't end up working out how we wanted it to. We had a tough, home loss. So it was there were some emotions going into it that we were kind of disappointed and everything, but we knew at the end of the day, everybody goes into the tournament 0-0. There's no record that comes into the tournament. So we knew we just had to be us and go back to being true to Coyote volleyball. And I think we did just that. Our UMKC match, I think honestly was one of our best, cleanest matches we've had. From attacking to defense to serving to serve receive, we just honestly played incredible. And I think that win started building. And then when we got into the Omaha match, we just all kept saying, let's just keep rolling. The vibes are really high, and we're, each taking care of our jobs really well. Let's just keep rolling and keep this vibes going. And I think we did an awesome job keeping it going. And, the SDSU match was just so many emotions, and it was just so rewarding finishing off that match. just seeing everybody's faces and just like the hugs, the smiles, the celebrations were like the biggest celebrations we've had all season, and it was just one of the most fun matches ever.
You got on a roll in that match against South Dakota State and really helped this team score a lot of points. What worked for you in that match?
Thank you. I just think I was trying to switch up my shots and just stay high because they are a huge block, I give them a ton of credit because they had a great blocking match, and I just tried to continue to take quality swings, and I knew every swing didn't need to be a kill, but if I could put them in trouble and get a free ball back, then I was doing my job. And I think being able to make their middles have to decide and go pin to pin, because I was pretty active and Avery was going behind a decent amount, really helped with opening stuff on our outsides. So like Kylan had a great match, Lauren had a great match. Honestly, like I could name everyone, like our defensive, Katie, Elena, like so many people just really stepped up that game. And it was so awesome to be a part of. And yeah, I mean, Avery also set me up amazing. I couldn't do it without the setter.
You get the win, you get to celebrate the tournament championship, and then you get a few days off. And obviously Sunday you're sitting there waiting for your name to pop up. You know it's going to come up, but what's the anticipation like as you wait and wait and wait to find out where and who you're going to play?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a first time for everything for me. Like my first conference tournament, first time winning a conference tournament with that, and being a part of a selection show it's just so much gratitude and just so much. It's so much fun, honestly, like just sitting there with everyone and like, yeah, you know what's coming, but like you don't fully know when. So you're just kind of sitting there waiting. And seeing your name go up there is like, wow, like everybody just saw our name go up there and like know that we won the Summit League, you know? So it was a really fun moment. We had a lot of people there too, which was really nice. Like the picture that they posted on USC was so nice. You could just see all the genuine smiles. So it's exciting. It was an exciting moment.
Opportunity now to play in the NCAA tournament for you, and you get to play a really good Creighton team down in Omaha, not too far away. I would imagine we're going to have fans travel to that game because it's close by and whatnot. But what excites you about this opportunity against a really good opponent?
Yeah, I think, going against big teams like that is always just an opportunity. Last spring I played Texas and it was so much fun. Like it's such a big opportunity to go against those bigger blocks, the better servers, and I think it's going to be really good for us. And I think something about this team is that we don't really shy away from those big matches. I think we kind of go in and just embrace it and embrace every point and take it 1 point at a time. So I think it's going to be a really fun match, and I'm really, really excited to do it with these girls.
We're excited for you.
Yeah.
Congrats on the Summit League tournament title and the
Thank
opportunity
you.
to play in the NCAA tournament. Good luck this week.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Coyotes!
That's Cheyenne and Hlady joining us here on the Coyote Volleyball Show. When we come back, Leanne Williamson will rejoin us. We'll talk about the NCAA tournament matchup with Creighton coming up on Thursday night. This is the Coyote Volleyball Show presented by Scooters Coffee.
This segment brought to you by Scooters Coffee. Scooters Coffee. Amazing drinks, amazing people, amazingly fast.
Welcome back into the Coyote Volleyball Show presented by Scooters Coffee. I'm John Thayer, joined as always by the head coach of the Coyotes, Leanne Williamson. Her team prepares for the NCAA volleyball tournament where they get the Creighton Blue Jays on Thursday. Before we get into that, Coach, how did your team handle, obviously you played in the Summit League Championship on Tuesday. There was the Thanksgiving holiday. You're waiting for Sunday for the selection show. How'd you handle a few days, a little rest, and still kind of keep this team with an edge?
I mean, a lot of people were able to go home, see their friends and family, which I think is always a great opportunity for them. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they were able to spend time away from volleyball and, obviously enjoy the holidays. And then we practiced on Sunday afternoon before the selection show at a team dinner. And then we're able to obviously find out our next home, who we get to play next, which is obviously really exciting. So I think that balance, again, was really important for them. Get some time away, get some time with their family and friends, and now we're back and ready to keep grinding away.
You got a lot of players from south of here. Did you drop them off along the way one by one?
We were actually able to, a lot of them went home with their families. Sure. Or came back to Vermilion and then drove home from here. So we had a couple that stayed in town. They were able to come over to my house for Thanksgiving, but a large amount of our team was able to get back home.
Sunday night selection show, obviously it's very exciting. You're all together in a room, a few fans in attendance as well with you, things like that. What's that feeling like? Obviously you're in. It's the anticipation of where are we going, who are we going to play? What's that feeling like as you're watching that show progress, waiting for South Dakota to pop up?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously knew our name was going to be called, but it was still, I don't know, for some reason, there's just the anxiousness to it. I mean, I looked at one point in time and my heart rate was 100. I don't know why. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't nervous. It's just the anticipation, just waiting for your name to be called, or just who we're going to play, where we're going to go. I think in some ways, like, what comes next for the coaches, the scouting, the film, the travel preparations. But more than anything, I watched the video of our team celebrating. Like, that's the thing that I enjoy seeing, is just how excited they get. So it's a pretty incredible feeling. I think all day it just felt great. I mean, honestly, to know we were in and knowing that we were going to continue to play.
South Dakota playing in Omaha against Creighton. Coach, in Omaha NCAA tournament, you've seen this before, I feel like.
I think 3 other times, yeah. A little bit of a familiar surroundings there. Understand kind of where we're going, who we're playing, and Creighton's an incredible team, so it's definitely going to be a great opportunity for us.
Creighton was in the mix for a potential number 1 seed. They finished just outside of that, obviously end up a 2 seed, so they get to host a couple of rounds of the tournament here. You get them right away. This is a team that's been ranked in the top 10, top 5, pretty much all season long. Very good volleyball team. What do you see out of Creighton?
They're good all around. I think they're a team that does their job at a really high level. They have 2 extremely good outsides. Their setter is incredible, but they're going to definitely challenge us, kind of in every facet of the game. We love the opportunity. I think it's going to be a great matchup for us, a fun matchup in a lot of ways to play a team like that at this point in time in the season. And that's why we schedule the way we do during preseason. We played Louisville, who is a top 4 seed. We've played teams in the top 25 that we are able to kind of draw back from, of just, this is what that game looks like. This is how we felt. This is where what we did well and maybe what we didn't. But I think the one nice thing is we just played against 2 really big teams, in terms of blocking. And that's something that we are going to see. And I think we're at least going to be prepared in that way of what that may look like. But we know it's going to be a challenge, but what a great opportunity for us.
I know you played some challenging teams, and the idea was, hey, if we get to the NCAA tournament, we want you prepared. Mm-hmm. This will be a different atmosphere than probably what you've seen most of the year. While it's familiar for South Dakota playing at Creighton and in Omaha, very unfamiliar to a young team. How do you try to explain to them the atmosphere and the energy so that they can hit the floor just playing the game? And I mean, there's going to be a little bit of that shell shock that has to wear off a little.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there'll be some nerves to it, and honestly, I think it would be kind of crazy if there weren't, But I do think what's kind of fun is there are a few people on our team that are impacting our team right now, our program all throughout the year, that actually have probably seen that, were able to come in the past and watch us play. So they do at least have an idea of what that environment is going to be like. But, I don't think anything can fully prepare you for maybe your first NCAA game. So, we'll talk about it a little bit, but at the same time, we're going to trust what we've done all year. And that's really just focus on playing Coyote Volleyball, focus on our side of the net. And for me, it's playing fearless, going into this. That's the only way you can attack it, and we'll obviously use this week to be prepared for that.
We're excited to see the team in action on Thursday night. I know a lot of people excited to make the trek to Omaha. Coach, have a great week. Good luck this weekend. We're excited to see what this team can do, and congrats on another opportunity at the NCAA tournament.
Thank you.
That's Leanne Williamson, the head volleyball coach at the University of South Dakota. I'm John Thayer. That wraps up the Coyote Volleyball Show presented by Scooters Coffee.
The Coyote Volleyball Show is brought to you by Scooters Coffee. Scooters Coffee. Amazing drinks, amazing people, amazingly fast.